Well, Sri Lanka have finally signed off with a huge win in third test match of the series, and they will be very happy with signing off with a win at the Oval. So, if we talk about the third test match, if we review the whole match, England had a very good start with day one. They were 20-21 for three, I think, but then there was all things that belonged to Sri Lanka. If even if there was batting, even if there was bowling, because in batting, Sri Lanka batted really well in patches in the first innings, but then the way they came back with bowling in second innings, all the things belonged to them. So if we talk about what this win means for them, this win means a lot for them. They have a lot of positives in this series. Uh, they will carry a lot of positives from this series, even though they have lost this series. But the most important thing is they have win a match in on England soil, only the fourth test match on England soil, and first one since a decade. So it matters a lot, and it means a lot for Sri Lanka cricket. First of all, if we talk about, they have found two very good youngsters in Test crickets. Pratham Nissanka, he has already proved himself a really good batter in white ball cricket, but not he had not proved himself yet in Test cricket. But now I think this is the time that all around the world should know that he is a class player and all format player, and he is going to be a big thing in Test cricket for Sri Lanka as well. Then Kamindu Mendes, early part of his career, but his career has been sublime so far, so yet. Then, if we talk about bowling, there we can't take lightly their seam bowling. Even if we talk about Asita Fernando, Lahiru Kumara, then Vishwa Fernando, the way he bowled in the third Test match after coming back in the side. Then even Milan Ratnaike bowled magnificently. I mean, this was all the team effort from Sri Lanka in the third Test match. If we talk about bowling, because there was a combined good performance from their bowlers. It was not about that one bowler bowled magnificently and destroyed England's batting lineup. It was all over effort from their bowlers. Asita Fernando started, then Vishwa Fernando carried on, and along with Lahiru Kumara, then in the end Ratnaike strike some players. So it was a complete team effort from Sri Lanka, and we can say that if we see Sri Lanka's position on WTC points table, they are on the fifth spot. They are on the fifth spot, but they are 42% on WTC points table, above from England. Bangladesh have 45% on fourth. New Zealand have 50%. The interesting thing is they have left 6 test matches in this WTC cycle, and the good thing is 4 of them will be played at their home. Against two against New Zealand, they should win two of those. Then two in the next two will be against Australia in the next year in the early part of 2025. The two matches that will be critical for them will be the away tour of South Africa, the two test matches. That will be a huge challenge for Sri Lanka, because in South Africa it's never easy for any team to win, to compete with South Africa. But with this win, they can carry a lot of positives, and this will inspire their seam bowling, their batting, who used to struggle in English conditions, and I think their batting has a lot of potential, because if you have a good batting lineup, then you can compete in Sana countries if you're an ordinary, even an Asian team. So the future of Sri Lanka cricket looks really bright, because the way they came back in the third test match was very sublime, because the first innings belonged to England all the way. The second innings, the way Nisanka played, I mean, it belonged to Nisanka, the third test match of the series, because he played over the strike rate of 100 in both innings. First innings with a strike rate of 125, in second innings with an unbeaten 127, with over again over 100 strike rate. So he was looking a different batter from all other Sri Lanka's batters. I mean, Kamindu was also batting well, even DDS was batting well, but Nisanka seemed to be a different player, a completely different player when he came to bat as an opener in third test match. I talked about him two before the second test match when he was not the part of the 11. So I talked about that. Sri Lanka, Nisanka is your best player, the best player in the country, and you have to invest in him. Even you can afford some failures from a player like him. He is a class player and he is your future prospect. So future looks bright for Sri Lanka. Even if we talk about bowling, bowlers are younger. Asita Fernando, Lahiru Kumara. Then even if we look Vishwa Fernando, so even if we talk about batting, their young batters are really well, like Nisanka, like Kamindu Mendes, even Kusal Mendes is not too much older than Nishan Madushka, who didn't play really well in the series, but he has got a lot of potential as well, and we'll expect that he will when he gets an opportunity, he will prove him and will get some runs. So I'm very happy, honestly, to see this win from Sri Lanka, and I'm eager to see them in the future WTC matches of the remaining cycle.